Hi, Dr. Versalati here, and in this video we're going to talk about entailment. What does that entail? Let's find out. As we just saw, entail is a word that we use in common conversation. The linguistic concept of entailment is part of semantics, which is the linguistic sub-area that focuses on meaning. And two important concepts are proposition and truth value. Before we get in too deep, let's review a little bit about semantics. Lexical semantics is based on the study of the meaning of words. So we have words such as hit, Sam, and Taylor, and we might know the meaning of the word hit, and we might know the referent Sam and the referent Taylor. They might be our friends. So we know what the meaning of these words are, but we don't know what happened by just knowing the meaning of the words, the lexical semantics. We need something more to express meaning. And that's where compositional semantics comes in. The compositional semantics has the principle of compositionality, which tells us that the meaning of multi-word units, such as phrases and clauses and sentences, the meaning is composed of the meaning of the words plus the way that they are combined. So we can take those three little words, Taylor, Sam, and hit, and combine them in two very different ways, reflecting two very different events, right? So Taylor can hit Sam, and Sam hit Taylor. Those are two different ways we could combine those, expressing two different events in the real world. So we can call these two sentences propositions. Proposition 1 is that Taylor hit Sam. Proposition 2 is Sam hit Taylor. And both of these propositions can have a truth value. And that just means, is it true or false? Yes, is it true? Yes or no? Do both propositions have a truth value? How do we find out if it's true or false? We have to check in the real world. So in order to find out the truth value of the proposition 1, Taylor hit Sam, we have to check what happened in the real world. Same with proposition 2. Sam hit Taylor. The truth value comes from the information in the real world. Let's think more about propositions and truth values with two other sentences. Indiana is the most populous state. Proposition 1. Does that proposition have a truth value? Well, you might think, well, that's false, so it doesn't have a truth value. And King of England is sleeping. Well, we don't know. How can we answer if it has a truth value? Well, just like the first pair of sentences, we can check the real world. So Indiana is the most populous state, proposition 1, it has a truth value. That truth value happens to be false, and we know that based on the real world. The King of England is sleeping. You and I might not know the truth value, but we know that that proposition has a truth value because we can check information in the real world. So let's go back to our original sentences. Does the truth value of one proposition tell us the truth value of another proposition? Can we know the truth value without checking in the real world? Well, for proposition 1 and 2, Taylor hitting Sam and Sam hitting Taylor, these are unrelated. For both of these, we have to individually check the real world. We can imagine a world where Taylor hit Sam, but Sam did not hit Taylor. It does not guarantee, proposition 1 does not guarantee proposition 2. They're unrelated. But let's think about two other propositions. If we know that Taylor went to Spain, if we know that truth value, does that tell us anything about Taylor went to Europe? So if Taylor went to Spain, if that's true, what does that tell us about proposition 2? We know that has to be yes as well, because Spain is part of Europe. And that is our topic. It's entailment. Taylor went to Spain entails that Taylor went to Europe. But if we switch those two, and proposition 1, Taylor went to Europe, if that's true, does that guarantee that Taylor went to Spain? No, we don't know whether Taylor went to Spain. So it's only true if Taylor went to Spain that Taylor went to Europe. The entailment only works one way. But there are some sentences where the entailment can be work both ways. For instance, if the proposition Taylor had a sister, if we know that's true, do we know that Taylor had a female sibling? Yes. And if Taylor has a female sibling, if that's true, if that truth value is yes, we know it's also Taylor has a sister. That proposition has a truth value of yes, we know that that also is true, right? It's mutual entailment. Proposition 1 entails proposition 2, and proposition 2 entails proposition 1. But that's not the whole story with entailment. Let's look at these sentences. Taylor has a full-time job. We can find out the truth value in the real world. Let's say that's true. Does that tell us anything about Taylor is unemployed? What's the truth value of proposition 2? Well, we can tell by the meaning of those propositions that if Taylor has a full-time job, if that's true, we know that it cannot be true that Taylor is unemployed. And likewise, if Taylor is unemployed, we know that it can't be true that Taylor has a full-time job. These two are incompatible propositions. If one's true, we cannot imagine a world that the other one is also true. So, what's the relationship between two propositions? They could be unrelated, where there is no guarantee that one logically follows, or one proposition could entail the other. And we talked about the special case of mutual entailment, where the entailment goes both ways. And some propositions are simply incompatible, where if one is true, the other cannot be true. Entailment helps us think carefully about what can be assumed, which is really important when studying how language is used in the real world, which is called the linguistics subarea of pragmatics.